Let's see. I haven't played in a while. I'm just up to 80 hours. Again, it feels like there's still so much more to do. Was sidetracked a bit by finished Age of Darkness. It took about, I don't know, 10, 12 hours or so. I could have been way quicker, to be honest. And a few demos if you want to check those out. Otherwise, we'll continue. KCD2. There's a few minor things to do in the city of Kuttenberg. We can go to the monastery, and otherwise we can do the main quests. Time's up. Oh, for this one I have to go there at night. Not?
It's pissing. I'm sorry.
God bless you. Did you see the hole?
Schönen Tag. Was willst du, mein Herr?
When is the next tournament?
There is still some time to go. More than 5 days. But there is still time to sign up.
I want to enter that tournament you mentioned.
Great decision, Heinrich. You will not regret it. Als erstes, let me explain the rules, so you know what to do.
Right. Make it quick.
We have 3 Disziplinen. Die erste, Sword and Shield Combat. Then gibt es noch Longsword Combat. Schwertkampf is done in light armor. You will get all the equipment you need for the tournament, including weapons. Keine Sorge.
Don't worry.
You must use it during the duels and return it to us at the end, yeah?
Of course I'll return what I borrow. But what if I want to use my own gear? Can't I do that?
Not in the sword disciplines. Everyone uses the same equipment, so that only skill is the deciding factor. But in free combat, the last discipline, everyone uses their own weapons and armor. I recommend heavy plate armor if you have some. You can participate in all discipline or just some. It is up to you. Every entry costs some Geld.
Money.
And behave during the tournament, yeah? No funny business. And follow the instructions you are given.
How many fights will there be?
You'll face an opponent and fight until someone has 2 wins. They will then move on to the finals. There, the first one to get 2 wins is the victor of the entire discipline.
How many fights?
Who
are the other participants in the tournament?
all who are brave enough. Many local burghers, natürlich. It is a Kuttenberg tournament, after all.
What if I get my arse kicked?
Then you will make a fool of yourself. But if that happens, a bathmaid will take care of you. The first time is gratis, but every time after, that you will have to pay.
Are there any prizes?
Yeah, glory and recognition. Also, as in beautiful and valuable things. Coats, armor, weapons, all sorts of things. The city's craftsmen quite liked the idea and wanted to show off their work. So they donated a few pieces as prizes for the victor. But the main thing is to have a good Kampf.
Fight.
Is it not?
Of course. What will happen if I sign up and then can't make it?
Then I will be bloody disappointed in you if you do not show up. You will be disqualified from the discipline. No other way.
Enough.
Thanks.
So,
Sign me up.
toll.
All of them.
You know what?
Pay the entry fee.
Here are the...
I look May Lady on the day of the tournament. Or you can...
Still 5 days? No. Not gonna wait for that. So that's a Grandmaster in boxing, I think.
Are you whistling here?
Come here, boy. Look what I have for you.
Pick up some food.
Get out of here!
Look at this
Cool.
nice bun I brought for you, she says. Doesn't it smell nice?
I can't say no to that, and you just have to taste my sausage. It's ready and waiting for you.
The two of them are having it off even if they like
My God! Why are you all covered in blood?
Am I? Shit.
We meet again.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God,
Woman in the back is probably like,
that
what the
madman
fuck
cut
is
off
he
both
doing?
her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy?
What have they done to you?
Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine. What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Oh, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What
Others?
You haven't heard?
No.
You girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
This is like a Jack the Ripper
Do you know
situation.
of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then they found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Could be someone who was who has traumatic experience and do similar things to him. So let's check out the. I guess we need to check out the other girls and if they also had brown hair and all that stuff.
I think I heard about you in a fight club.
Really? About me? What did they tell you? And who, pray tell, are you?
Well, first things first, I'm Henry. From Skalitz.
František is my name.
They told me I'd find the strongest competitor here. If it's not you, then I must be looking for some ghost.
I know this place like the back of my hand, and I've never seen a spook here. So I reckon you really are looking for me.
How does a city gravedigger like you become the best fighter in the area?
From necessity. The cemetery looks like a quiet place, but at night it can get pretty lively.
So I wasn't far from the truth with those ghosts.
I take good care of the cemetery, so the deceased rest in peace and wouldn't even think of haunting anyone. But I'm always chasing out drunkards and young couples who disturb the peace and quiet here. Mine and all those under the ground.
Do you still go and fight people just for fun once in a while?
I used to do it all the time. I went to the tavern after work and picked a fight with whoever crossed my path. I've even spent a few nights under lock and key when I overdid it.
That sounds like quite a wild youth.
Water under the bridge. I've turned a new leaf. I'm even on the bailiff's good side nowadays. That's because I can handle guarding this place all on my own.
I challenge you to a fight. Man to man.
Mano.
Broad daylight. Someone will see us and there'll be trouble. Come at night. It'll be quiet and no one will disturb us.
All right then.
Don't just say like everyone's coming at night.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth, or a thumb. You hear?
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure. It's actually... Wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you.
Okay, so... Oh, it's quite right across the street. How is that? We go into the church. Seems to be a no. A indulgence. I haven't done that once. I should maybe do that at some point. Just to see what happens, basically. Like, I just don't know what happens. Let's talk to Lumiere.
We need to talk.
God be with you,
This gate isn't the
God
village
bless
green.
you.
It's not my fault it's here. I'd go a different way
I'm
if I
sorry.
I
could.
went to
You have
confession
to pay
yesterday,
to go
and that
through.
old priest was
And if I
completely hammered
refuse?
again.
Then you
What
can
did he
find a
say?
different way.
Apparently my greatest
Fine.
sin is that I have such nice breasts,
wasn't
and my
hard, was
second
it?
greatest, that I don't want to show them to him.
Christ, what's the world coming to? 2 popes? Heretics?
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. No, not that. Nothing.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait, what? Who? What
It's
are you
true, by the
doing
way.
here?
Alcohol binds
Who
alcohol.
are you?
My name is Henry.
So if you
And
ever
what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
Yeah, alcohol binds alcohol. So if you have a hangover, I think you can. Nah. I mean, if you're still completely wasted, you can later on drink then a bit of alcohol to bind it. Next morning, basically. But it's not the best solution, though. Just some fatty stuff. Sprite helps.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm not stupid, and I notice things. I've successfully solved a murder before.
Is that so? A murder investigation under your belt. And educated and observant, too.
Well, I said I'm not stupid. Not that I'm educated. I can read and write, too. Sometimes even count.
If only more people knew the difference. All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it, too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Maybe he was pressured.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the two girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole? In the hole?
Yeah. He still runs the place.
We know him.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good.
When you learn something more, you've aroused a bit of hope in me.
Okay, so the freaking priest guy. We just talked to him, right? So we can go back.
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you?
Hold on one sec.
What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No. Absolutely not.
Well, I doubt that she would tell her priest uncle.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, son. When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarka was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Arms look fucking pale white.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
That's what he's worried about. Oh my God.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant. Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You needn't concern
Not like the
yourself about
priest.
that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumir accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kirimdor.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumir. That man has gone completely mad.
As usual, fucking priest is just interested in himself and how things look.